So what we just saw was the robot go forward for 300 degrees, and then after that point it stopped, and then we did a turn, a left turn, and we did that for 290 degrees on the right motor. And if you're up to this assignment, you've done this with the encoders and you understand how to do it. And this lesson is about functions. So functions allow you to take pieces of code. For example, in your last project, you used this go forward set of lines probably 4 times, and you probably made several turns. And in each case, they were almost identical. When you went forward, you may have been changing this number. I mean, you definitely were. And when you made your turns, you may or may not have changed that number. But in any event, you were using the same code over and over again with maybe just small changes. So a more efficient way to do that and organize our programs is to use what's called a function. And where you'll place the function is outside of your main program block after using namespace vex. So above the main programming block, you'll write your functions, and you begin a function or declare a function by typing void, void. Then you type the name of the function. It could have no special characters and no spaces, and it should make sense that it means something that the function does. In my case, I'm going to make a function called go forward, and then I'm going to do an open parenthesis and a close. And I don't put a semicolon on this because it's not a simple statement. I give myself an open curly brace, and this right here, just so you can see it better, is the basic skeleton for my function. In my case, down here, the go forward part was all of this code. And so I'm going to cut it and just paste it in these curly braces. And in the main program block, which is the part the program will read, I'm now going to call the function by writing go forward. And I get an open close parenthesis, and that is a simple statement. I placed the function up here. And when I want to use the function, I just type go forward. And anytime I want to go forward, I can just type go forward in my main program block. Now, when you went forward, you didn't always go forward 300 encoder degrees. Sometimes it was 300, sometimes 1500, sometimes, who knows that. That was changing a lot. So the way we can address that is we're going to utilize a variable. And you can declare variables in lots of places, but in this case, it makes sense to declare the variable right inside the function itself. And I'll do that by writing int. That's called an integer variable. Integers are whole numbers like -6 and 152. And then I'll name my variable. Again, no special characters and no spaces. And in this case, I'll just call it clicks because that makes sense to me because it's encoder clicks. Maybe you call it degrees, whatever. And instead of putting the number 300 here, I'm going to write the name of my variable, which is clicks. And down here, when I call the function, you see I have a message now telling me, hey, you got an error. I'm going to put the number 300 there. So one of the beautiful things about functions is when you call them, you can send information or pass a parameter, it's called, to the function. And then that information will be used while you're doing the function. You can also have an answer or a response sent from the function and utilized by the program. So here I'm going forward 300, and then I'm going to do a turn of, say, 290. And I can put my turn into a function as well. So I'm going to do that also. I'm going to come down here and say void. And it's going to be turn left. Open close parenthesis. And I'm just going to come down to my turn left code and take it. And I'm going to cut it out and paste it right in here. Oops, in here. And let's say that my turn left, I also want to be able to change. So I'm going to declare a function here. That may or may not be the case with yours, but I'll just call it like in clicks. And because I'm declaring these in the function, they're only local to the function. They're not global variables. They're just staying right there. I could just keep it as clicks and just change this again to clicks. But when I call the function for turn left, I'm going to place the number 290 in there. So now, if I download this program, I see that the robot will do the same thing as before.